Alrighty. I think this should be working now. أهلا أهلا، يا رب تكونوا بخير وبصحة وعافية وأمن وأمان. Guys, the English is coming back into action. It's been a very long time for English to show up in my profile after a very long time. I want to know in the comments though, can you hear me okay? As you see, and I have a mic attached. عادة I don't have a mic attached, بس أنا صوتي النهاردة مريح حبتين, that's why I have a mic attached. Allow me to welcome طبعا Reham and Adil. I'm just waiting for them. I think I can see them here. Accept. Oh yeah, that's what Adil. Right, I think they should be coming in soon. But then let's get rolling. Reham.
أهلا أهلا. Hi.
سامعني? Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course.
Adil, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm gonna plug this bad boy again. Let me see. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
You started.
Is that better or the one before?
Same, to be honest.
The same.
Because I plug it, the speakers go. So anyway, never mind.
Okay.
All right, Adil, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm super
Thank you for having me here.
I'm excited for multiple reasons because I've missed having English in my content.
Really?
Your English is perfect.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Reham, هو not really, بس the audience are complaining. عربي 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 عربي. Adil, without further ado, I would love you to introduce yourself to our audience and give us a nice brief.
Of course. So my name is Adil. I'm a life coach and men's coach currently in Dubai. I'm from London. I've been doing this now for about 2-3 years. And the main mission that I have is to help men connect with themselves, to connect with their emotions, to live a life of integrity, healthy masculinity, honesty, and to be moving towards a place where they can just become better versions of themselves every day. So together we can heal the world, just one man at a time. And to also give men a voice, so that they can feel that they have someone that they can talk to, someone that they can turn to. They don't have to keep things to themselves. They don't have to suffer in silence. They can really feel like they've got a community. And I've created something called Brotherhood DXB, where we bring together men every 2 weeks and we just talk about what's happening in our lives. And it's really beautiful.
I think what I like the most about this, you've opened up a can of worms that usually Arabs don't talk about their emotions.
Yeah. Same, this is exactly that. This is the reason why I'm doing it. This is especially Arabs, yes, but men in general, I feel we're not encouraged to tap into that, to really express and to really share how we're really feeling.
Yeah, very true, very true. Reham, can you give us an introduction for everyone who's coming from Adil's side?
Okay. Hi, Adil. How are you first?
Right.
Most welcome to our new life. Okay, so I'm Reham Shaheen, emotional therapist. I started as a therapist, psychologist, but I faced a lot of physical problems, and then I searched about all the new sciences, and then I found the mental health and the color therapy, and then I started a new journey relating all the emotions to the body and how we are affected physically because of our emotions. And I do agree, Adil, that mostly the men in the whole world, they don't talk about their feelings. They don't reveal anything because, they want to be, fighting in this life and doing a lot of stuff. And they do care about emotions, but they don't care about, or they don't allow themselves to reveal it or to get it out. That's it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Adil, what got you in this? I would love to hear your story, and then based on that, we're just going to keep the life so natural and flowy.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you for asking. Well, it all really started when I was asked to leave the family home by my mother. This is about 3 years ago. Yeah. It's just sometimes things happen in the family and it all became a bit too much for all of us and I had to leave. And it was something which I it really, I did suffer. Like I feel like maybe it was depression. I don't know what it was, but either way, it was too much for me, and I left, and I went to Morocco for like a retreat. I had to get away. I had to get away because everything has just become too much. I felt a mixture of relief, but also sadness that I've been asked to leave home, and I've been at home. I've been at home since I was 17. You know, like my dad left when I was 17, and ever since then, I felt like I had to be at home to be with my mum and my sister. When I was asked to leave, I couldn't really take it anymore. I went to Morocco and I met a healer, a Reiki healer called Kate. And I had no idea what Reiki was. You know, I'd never even heard of it at the time. But I decided to I had nothing to lose. I thought, let me just speak to this woman and who knows. And she took me on a bit of a journey to understand my relationship with my mum. And I was able to talk to her as if, you know, she was my mum. So I was expressing things for the first time, saying it out loud that I had never said. Like things around like I had resentment towards my mum, I had anger, I had so much pain that I didn't know that was there. And as I was able to express it, I realized that wow, I've been suppressing so much of my emotions and so much of what I really felt, not even realizing how much I was using, you know, quite detrimental coping mechanisms just to exist, just to survive the way that I was feeling. I had all kinds of anger management issues. I had body confidence issues. I was an emotional spender, an emotional eater, all these things I didn't understand. I couldn't hold down relationships. I would bounce from relationship to relationship, and none of these things made sense to me. But speaking with this woman, it did start to make sense. It was the love that I didn't really receive or felt like I didn't receive from my mother, and having that understanding helped to unlock some of the deeper feelings that I had. And in that moment, as this was happening, I realized that wow, I could have things for me could have been so much worse. You know, I really could have maybe you know had a darker or a deeper depression, but I didn't. And I figured that you know what, I've been brought up to be someone that shouldn't really express himself, be tough, be strong, be the man of the house, be all these things. And I figured no, like I actually want to help more men speak. This is my mission now. This is what I believe to be true, because one conversation can change a life. And when I left Morocco and I went home, I decided that I want to just create a safe space for men to speak up. Doesn't matter. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I just know that I want to help men do that. And the other lesson I learned as well was that, you know, I spent so many years trying to look after my mum or parent my parent, but that's not how things work. And we always want more. We want more love. We want more whatever, all these things that we want. But the answer is to be more love. If you want love, be more loving. If you want kindness in your life, be more kind. You know, we have it already within us. And because we keep searching for outside, we're never going to be fulfilled. But if we can be the things that we really want, we will attract it. So I left Morocco, I went home, I took time to really seek therapy. I started a men's group. I healed my relationship with my mom. I healed my relationship with my dad. I did so many things, and that's how it got kick-started for me. And here I am.
I mean, out of darkness, there was the glimpse of light.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. I'm just curious, what's your background, Adil?
My dad is from Pakistan. Mom was from India.
Wow, that's a solid base.
Yeah.
All right, enough said. Reham, what's your thoughts on what has been said?
Actually, I'm so proud of you, Adil.
Thank you.
Because you could be just, you know, drawn in this what do we call it? To be decent while talking, but it was horrible. Maybe you could just start being depressed and go and forget about this for the whole life. But you started from scratch, as they say.
Yeah.
You started from scratch, and that's amazing for me, for a man to start from scratch again emotionally. In normal life, it's okay. It's just the business drop, anything can happen, and then I can start from scratch again. But for emotions to start again, and you realize everything that it's deeply inside, so that's amazing. Actually, you started from the end. Emotions that are reflected physically on us, reflected in our normal life, in materialistic life, in everything, it's emotions. So actually there is nothing to be said that you are a sample you're a role model for others, especially men. because they don't talk about their emotions enough.
Yeah, that's one of the points I added today that we want to really open up. Now that you've gone through your own journey, and now that you've said you're half Pakistani, half Indian, I understand the culture because I live in the culture. Talking about emotions is a taboo. Saying I'm mentally tired is like, be a man. How dare you say that? You're depressed, you want to cry. عيب عليك, طخ, that sort of vibe. How did you find it in Dubai?
How did I find what?
Like approaching men, Arab men, with this sort of mentality.
So I haven't been trying to approach anyone. So what I've been doing is just using my Instagram to be the inspiration.
Okay.
So how it started was, I thought, let me just show me being vulnerable. Let me just show me talking about these things in my life, and hope that will inspire, because no one could really have told me at the time, you need help. It wasn't going to work. So I can't tell someone else.
You don't know what you don't know. Yeah.
So I just felt like, let me just showcase what it is that I feel, what it is that I believe, and then I will help hopefully attract. So I started to run the men's circle. Men started to join. I put it on meetup.com. I put it on my Instagram. So men started to come. It's been a very slow process, but when they can see the power of like just men coming together and having a conversation, that's really helping. So for example, a man will message me and say, I want to come to the men's circle, but I don't want to talk. I say, okay, don't just come, don't talk.
Just join.
Yeah. When they hear the other man speak and express his truth, he cannot wait. He cannot wait to talk. Because it's just men. There is no taboo. There is no judgment. There is no shame. A man that feels safe will speak.
Exactly.
Men typically don't share because they feel that their words are going to be judged, or there's going to be a repercussion on their words. So they'd rather just keep quiet and not say anything. What do you think?
So true. That is so true, and I do agree with you. I have a follow-up question on that, though. The majority of the guys that are coming to you are what sort of ethnicity we're talking here?
It's a mix. It's a huge mix. Look, Dubai is mixed anyway, right? So we've had locals, we've had Arabs from every different Arab community you can imagine. We've got people from Europe. We have the Indian nation, Pakistani nation. We've literally everyone you can think of.
Okay.
It's a really healthy mix.
Now, coming from a role model like yourself, and now you're incorporating emotions and body image into relationships. I would love to know your story, how you turned that around, and then we can start linking, I believe, what's really happening within our community these days, because it's an absolute miss show. It's a crappy show.
Yeah. So my relationship with my body was very conflicted, because I'm a brown man. I'm a very hairy man. Okay, well, that's one thing. I also grew up very chubby. I was quite overweight, and all my friends were like white or black growing up in London, right? So I didn't see really people with hair, so I had an insecurity about body hair, to the degree that I would never wear shorts, for example, because my legs are hairy. I didn't want to have my legs out, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like looking back at myself now, but I was ashamed.
Yeah.
I always felt insecure about just how I looked in clothing, but I know I had a very unhealthy lifestyle, unhealthy diet, and I actually got into fitness because of a woman who basically chose another man over me because he had a really good body, and she said it out loud. She told me this, and she wasn't saying it to be malicious. She was just expressing some truth about what she felt, and that's completely fine. But the second I heard this, I went to the gym the next day. Okay, I was 19 years old.
That's a nice dose of motivation for you, eh?
Sometimes that's what it takes, right? I'm sure many men have gone to the gym because they wanted to maybe attract a partner. I went to the gym the next day. I had no idea what I was doing. I joined with my friend, and we just started looking at people around us and just picking up some weights and doing some stuff. In the end, this SAS guy, this old military man, saw what we were doing and helped us for a few months. And then I started to look at my diet and everything. And then fitness became my lifestyle. And then I got into becoming a personal trainer. And then things started. And I started working on my emotional health, my confidence, everything just kind of just went nicely along in this kind of linear progression of understanding of the self. The body hair thing still took many, many years. So even though my body shape changed, my love for my body unconditionally really only came in the last couple of years. And you know, being in Dubai also really, really helped. Seeing that there's all these brown men everywhere with hairy bodies. You just feel okay, you know. But when all you see are on the cover of these magazines is like
What
these
some blood,
hairless
some
guys,
shade.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. The standard body image. Okay, now I think the media shows us a persona. So Reham, I have a question
mm,
for you. طبعا different ethnicities have different sort of body structure and looks. I know for a fact the white folks are hairless, almost no beard. Some of them have really like gray beard or
mm,
maroon color. The black folks again, the curly hair, but nothing much on their body. Whereby the Arabs and the Asians, they've got much more thickness on their body. What is happening here, Reham? Emotions before we move on forward.
For the emotions, it's to have body hair. It's all about feeling secured in your environment, because you know the hair it senses anything that is you know is just around you. So it's all about being secure.
Sensitive.
So having the whole body filled, you know, it's hair everywhere. So I'm not secured in this environment. Maybe Adele, you were born like this.
Were you
yes,
born like that, Adil? Like if you had
Yeah.
body hair all over the place?
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
So it's your mom emotion that she was not feeling secured. So that's why you got the hair. But
He inherited the emotions from
he
her.
inherited the emotions.
Wow. Okay, I've never even heard of this association.
No.
You know what's entertaining here, Adil? What's not entertaining is that word. What's interesting?
Interesting.
When you look at girls, young girls with sideburns, mustaches, and
Yeah.
body hair, straight away you'll know that they're manifested in fear. They're being
Wow.
because hair is a sense that women shouldn't have hair. Just around maybe armpits and pubic areas, that's about it. But over that, there are a lot of questions to be asked.
Exactly. They differ from men.
Yeah. It's
Wow.
it's emotions being inherited versus my mom's like that, so I'm gonna be like that. It doesn't really work like that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Thank
Okay.
you for that
You
alignment.
know, until the age of 7 or maybe 8, the kids can just inherit the emotions of their mom.
Mom mainly. Yeah.
Mainly
Wow.
mom. Otherwise, if they are very attached to strongly attached to their dad, they can just inherit the emotions. That's the inheritance coming from. It's not genetical, as they say. It's emotional. Emotional inheritance.
Emotional inheritance. Yeah.
It's a bit strange, but it's a science now.
It's a regulated science, Adil. This is what the yeah. Okay. My next question to you, Adil, is you're a men's coach and you specialize in sort of relationships and stuff like that.
Also, yes, lately.
How do you see the role of the man and the woman in a relationship these days? Do they know what the hell they're doing, or they're gonna just split the restaurant bill 50-50 because, you know, it's polite and nice?
Yeah, so I feel like people typically are not invested in creating long-term relationships. The way that the world is now is that everyone is disposable, you know? There's always so much, there's this illusion of choice. And because there is this illusion of choice,
Illusion of choice.
no one really wants to, yeah, it's
I like
illusion.
that.
It's illusion.
Okay.
Yeah. So it looks like we have all this choice, but really because there's so much, it's like when you go to a restaurant, there's all this stuff on the menu, you can't make your mind up, right? So people aren't really invested in really creating solid relationships. And also, you can't blame them. People are taught to invest in their businesses and careers and think about the future and all these things, but the sanctity of a relationship isn't really held anymore. Equally, the rise of or the decline of masculinity, healthy masculinity is prevalent right now, you know. But masculinity among women is very strong, which is fair enough. They've had to survive.
Scary, man.
Yeah, but they're like, women are smashing it in their careers. They're doing fantastic. It's
You're
great.
smashing it
But
in
what
the
they're
gym,
doing
bro.
is,
Never mind careers.
but look, so it's fine for women to use masculinity to get ahead in their careers. But then what is happening is that men aren't don't know how to be more masculine, for example, in a healthy way. So women are looking for men to be more masculine, but it's not going to work like that. It's very difficult for a man to be more masculine than a already masculine woman. So relationships can't function and can't thrive if there isn't this polarity between the masculine and the feminine. So it doesn't really matter about gender roles. It doesn't matter that a woman should be doing this or shouldn't be doing that, or a man should be like this, or splitting bills. It doesn't matter. What matters is the polarity. Can a man lead? Can a man have direction for the family? Can he be a safe container for the feminine to be who she really wants to be? It's not taught. Men aren't being initiated into masculinity anymore.
I do agree. It's not taught. There should be balancing. Both of them. There should be, everything should be balanced. Even when the lady is going to her job, she should be talking in a female way, using female way. That's not the case now.
That's what I mean.
Before we go into the rabbit hole of this, why do you think this is happening, Adil? I mean, when I look at my granddad, I mean, okay, there were issues, but when you go back at least 2-3 generations, I don't think it looked like that. What's going on now? I mean, this is what annoys me the most. When men shake hands, sometimes their hands are so soft and they shake it so softly, like, get off me. And I feel disgusted, like, why you like shake a hand like a man? What's going on?
I think, men just don't feel as confident anymore. You can say the wrong thing and that's it. You're being told that something's wrong with you, or you're saying you should get cancelled now. Like, you can't talk like that anymore. Men don't feel confident enough just to be themselves because we're being put down. That's the way that I see it. And it's not that they're necessarily saying the wrong things, or maybe sometimes some men are talking out of turn and expressing things that maybe shouldn't be expressed, but there's no confidence in them anymore. The rise of feminism, which I think I'm all for feminism, but it's being kind of misconstrued in what feminism really is. And the masculine and men just don't know how to be masculine anymore. So I feel like they are afraid. Men are afraid to speak up. Men are afraid to be who they want to be. But they're also not taught how to be
men again.
Yeah, I do think that it's not encouraged. It's not encouraged, but also
it's deemed by societies.
Yeah, but because look, if you look at how masculine is seen now, masculine is seen as angry and aggressive and patriarchy and all this. It's not nice. There's no nice terminology associated, or
it's the most famous word now.
Exactly. All these buzzwords. Okay, so there's men don't know how to be. They don't know. They're not taught how to be. Like, I can always come back to it. Healthy masculine. We don't have healthy role models in the world that are teaching us how to be this way. So we need to be the example. Because also women want it. They need it. We can't expect the women to be less feminine, or we need the men to step up and take their role as the masculine. I'm talking, obviously, doesn't matter whether you're heterosexual, doesn't matter. This is for everyone.
We're not diving there yet. Not diving there yet. I don't want to be banned by Instagram.
No. It's okay. I choose my words carefully.
I know. Do you have any feedback on that as well?
So, the point, Adil, it's by nature. You can feel that, okay, I'm a man. It's by nature. That's what's going on now. They want to have the strong, independent woman, which I hate, even the expression itself, because that's not the case. The relationships should be balancing together. The man has his own role, the lady has her own role, and then both of us are now having a healthy relationship, not a disposable one. Because actually, I like your word. Everyone is disposable now. That's the case. That's the real expression now. I can just replace Adil by anyone. I can replace Mohamed by anyone. Even for me, I can be replaced. There is no guarantee to continue in a relationship. That's the case. I don't know. We should return back to our nature. I don't know. Petra, Mohamed, what do you think?
This is the next point, Adil, that I want to speak about. When a woman adopts masculine energy and a man adopts feminine energy, do you firmly believe that it affects their body shape and the chronic illnesses that they're hit with.
Damn, I had never even thought of that. I think it can affect. I think for men it can affect body shape because I feel like they're not. Maybe they don't care as much about what their body can be capable of, or what it can do.
I'm
I
not
feel like a
talking about
man.
ignorance. I'm talking about, like, you know, this soft,
Why are you disgusted like that?
soft. I mean, soft. I'm trying to find a different word that is suitable. Curvy. And for example, and let's speak the other side. Ladies have six packs. You show up their biceps, broad shoulders. You know, when you look at their structure, it's like a nail. It's like she's hard, not soft. You know, that's what I'm talking about. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I think that can be the case. I think it can be the case, but also it comes down to preference. You know, like there are people that want this. I think that's all we can say is that there are those that want this to be the case, and I know many women that train and they've got rock hard bodies, and that's just their prerogative. I don't really have a stance on that one.
And that's the main point, Adil. If I don't have the feelings deeply inside, I should not go for this shape. To work in the gym and have this shape, broad shoulders, because you know the shoulders for a lady should be like this, an inverted V. So that's the case. So now the body is a replica of our emotions. So
Reham, can you give the example? The foundation why the V, inverted V, and a shoulder, the man's shoulder is like a base.
Because it's very simple. The man is capable of doing anything and everything, and we all depend on men. As a ladies, we all depend on you. So you're going to work, and for me, okay, that's the feminine style. Just to be soft. This gives softness for this part. Just to have the curvy shape, that's the shape of a lady. But for men, they should, you know, just going like this strong body, because that's their emotions. I'm capable of doing everything. But for the ladies, it's okay. I'm just, you know, living life smoothly. There is nothing.
Have you noticed this progression of change then in the male bodies? Just going for the male bodies for now. Have you noticed a change over time?
Yeah, of course. Of course, we have it. We have it in our work. I do have it. Even for the ladies nowadays, they have the six packs, and there is nothing. It's even for the fat distribution, the fat tissues. It's distributed in you know, over the belly button. This area for the fat, it represents the responsibilities for man. So if you see a lady who has a fat tissues in this part, you know that she has a lot of challenges in her responsibilities. That's not should be the case, because for ladies it's down, it's, you know, under the belly
button, the navel area,
because that's the feminine part. So even for the distribution of fat tissues, it's amazing. It's really reflected depending upon our emotion. And by the way, Hammer, when he started this science, he started in 1978. He was specialized in cancer, and he got some sort of cancer, and his wife, after the assassination of his son, and he started since 1978. You know, just seeing how the emotions are controlled from the brain, and the sympathetic nerve, how it's working with the body, and how the whole emotions are just a replica. The body is just a replica of the emotions, and every specific organ has its own specific emotions. So it's really amazing. Now it's reflected in all people in their shape. Mohamed.
So it's a beautiful science, German new medicine, and obviously the updates that we're receiving. But the shoulder, for example, for a man and a woman, it represents responsibilities. You know, when you do like an overhead carry, or when you do
Yeah.
an overhead carry, the shoulder is the base foundation. So when you see a man with a flat shoulder that just looks chunky and healthy, you know that he's carrying responsibility. When you see a woman with a broad shoulder and a broad sort of collarbone, you know that she has this masculine energy. By the way, not having it doesn't mean emotionally she's incapable. This is really important because we cannot judge behavior, but we're looking at the body structure. One thing I've noticed about men recently, Adil, is that fat below their navel and around their butt. So they look like this, and then they go like that, and then thin legs.
Exactly.
That means their safety is blown out of the water. They completely don't feel safe sexually. When I see it, I feel bad for them because, you know, deep down, they've got some beliefs about themselves, and the way they're feeling about the other half, it's breaking. And then obviously they start going dieting and exercising, which is fair enough. And that's my next question to you. Do you get clients that completely keep hitting the plateau with dieting and exercising, and their body structure or their health is not budging much? Or if they budge, they rebound back?
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. I've noticed the rebound, right? I've noticed that they can't stick to something which works for them.
Exactly.
And not putting in the consistency over time. That's the one thing I'm noticing. And then they think they tried it for 3 months and it didn't work, so therefore they go back to normal. But then what I do then is what I end up working with the men on is that really going into why and helping undo and rewire some of their belief systems as to you know why they are eating the way that they eat, or why they do what they do, or why they can't even stick to something which is good for them because they don't really value themselves enough.
I would love to speak about consistency a little bit, Adil. What do you find that has worked with you the most? Because the consistency element, when it comes to superficial behavior change, it doesn't last.
No. So really, I just started to find out what it is what works best for me, and just by trying everything. And so now, like for example, when it comes to food, I'm in a place where I eat when I get hungry, like I really feel hungry. So the way it works for me right now is I kind of eat one meal a day. You know, like I haven't lost muscle mass. I'm consistent in my weight, in my training. I eat intuitively. I tend to fast on once a week, like properly fast on every single Monday. And but it took me a long time to really understand different. I've tried no carb, I've tried keto, I've tried everything. It's good to experiment, find out what works for you, see what your body likes and what it doesn't like, and just be observant. Often we're not introspective enough. We think we just listen to what someone else said, or we read a book, or we see some kind of fad and we try it, but we're not consistent. We're not really taking care of how is this actually impacting us or impacting my body right now? How's my brain fog? Am I sleeping okay? Like all these things we need to take note of, and then really see when do we feel our prime, when do we feel our optimum self. And then you'll know what works for you. And you also got to really care. You have to care about yourself enough and not be looking for short-term pleasures over long-term gain. You know, what is it you really want? Fine, you might want to grab that pizza, but what's the long-term gain here? Like, what do you want? If you keep taking these short-term pleasures, you're not going to make any kind of gains or losses if you're trying to lose weight, for example.
Do you have any comments on that at all? Any feedback?
Yeah, I have. You know, Adil, you said they should observe everything. Actually, they should observe their emotions. That's the main thing. Just observe the emotions, and then you will be so determined to continue, because the main emotion for having fat tissues, it's having a lot of challenges, a lot. And it depends on the place of the challenges. If it's in responsibilities, so it's above the belly button. If it's in female issues, it's down. So it's low. So it's all about observing the emotions. It's having challenges, a lot of challenges in your life. And sometimes people go to the gym and take it as a challenge. And I'm forced to go to the gym. So don't expect them to be determined and to continue. They should, at the beginning, observe their emotions and know that, as you said, it's my new lifestyle to have healthy body. That's the main point, observing the emotions.
I think, Adil, what's important here to recognize, there is this beautiful ayah in the Quran, always resonates with me. Allah says, وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا, that the human body has been created weak. And when you look at how fragile a human is, now when Reham said challenges, we all face obstacles in life, and emotionally you have two roads to deal with any obstacle in life. You can internally be an erupting volcano and be like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And be like a little wuss. I am so sorry for the term, but usually men, the proven men, when things are going wrong, they rise up, they show up, they give their best in the most classic, elegant, manly way possible.
They are flexible.
And they're stable. Yeah, emotionally stable.
Flexible.
Flexible, yes.
They accept that, okay, everything went on the wrong direction. Okay, I'm going to start again. But it's not a challenge. It's not. It's how I do consider any part of my life as a challenge.
Yeah. And this is the part that I came to recognize. And subhanAllah, we can emotionally feel, you know, the perception, we see the lens that you look at things. We can view things in life as, oh, this is bad. While someone else says, no, actually, I love you. Thank you for coming into my life because you will improve me.
Yeah.
Now, those who take, for example, let's say life, you know, when you do formal carries or any press or any push, your core is engaged. Yep. So when they're taking life responsibilities, I'm going to push through, I'm going to grind through, I have to pull through, straight away, the body listens to them like, oh, you're pushing, you need calories, man. And those fat deposits need to go around the tummy. And that's why you see very skinny men with a flipping pouch in front of them. I never got it.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you have this? And you're like a little stick man, you know?
Because that's the area where he has the challenges, most challenges.
And this is where this is where it's so important to distinguish emotion from behavior. And this is so we're coming through. Anyway, do you work with women, by the way, Adil?
Yes.
What's your view on all these feminine issues when it comes to period pain and heavy bleeding and irregular periods and this and that? It's becoming the norm. The norm.
So I don't typically work with women on this. I work with them on their mind.
Tell us what's happening here. I'd love to hear your perspective. I'm really out there, by the way, and excuse me for all of that.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say on this, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know. I don't take on that kind of work, so I wouldn't know.
All right. When it comes to men, we said something about responsibilities, which is really important. Do you feel as if when you're speaking to them, they have already given up on life and they're already very young and they're sort of, what's the point anymore?
I think by the time they reach me, they really want to make a change. That's what I'm noticing. Sorry, 1 second.
It's okay. Take your time.
Yeah, so by the time they get to me, that I feel like they really are ready to make a change. They're really ready to actually step up and try something different. So I don't really feel like I'm meeting defeated men, you know, or they're defeated to a point where they've tried everything and now they're ready for something else.
Holistic approach.
Yeah, they've tried what they know, and now it's time to, okay, let me just have someone else like just guide me in a different way. You know, that's why I can talk to them about things like journaling and meditation and mindfulness and just getting into what's really happening within their body, breath work, you know, somatic therapies, and these things are things they're not used to, you know?
Amazing.
Even things like ice baths. Yeah.
Amazing. So you take them out of, just go out and exercise and life will be hunky-dory.
Exactly. You can't just do the same. You can't just do what you've been doing all along and hope for a different response, you know?
What's your views on gastric sleeving?
Gastric what?
You know, overweight men when they sort of trim the stomach and play with it and constrict it and all that jazz.
Oh no, this is just a stupid shortcut. Like I don't believe in this. I think that there's always ways to really put the work in to get the results that you need and desire and that you deserve. And I think if you do something in a shortcut way, you're going to get a shortcut response, and it will also go back to normal just as quickly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I believe in
Absolutely.
I believe in discipline. I believe in discipline. I believe in like really putting the work in. I think this is what I mean. This feeds into the rise of more feminine men, like, you know, being more flowy and airy and going with the flow of things and not really being having the discipline to do what it takes, doing the hard thing over a long period of time to get the results that are going to benefit them over time in the long run. This is not something which is isn't encouraged anymore. It's not things that men typically are doing these days. You know, we want the quick fix. We want the quick dopamine. We want it now. I mean, that's what needs to change.
The focus discipline. I like that word. The focus discipline. Focus discipline. Amazing. Okay, absolutely fantastic. Reham, would you like to add anything to this conversation?
Actually, the conversation is so interesting. You know, Adil, they think that it will fix everything after doing these surgeries. And then it's totally fake. They will regain weight again. It's all about being disciplined.
Yeah.
And
but if you haven't
emotions and discipline.
Because look, if you haven't addressed the root of the problem as to why they were overeating in the first place, what makes anyone think that kind of surgery is going to change anything? Because they're going to go straight back to it.
It's because, I'm so sorry, the doctor said so, though.
Yeah, exactly. And
after 7 years of studying,
they did it.
Yeah.
You know, they see the last version of people after losing weight, after maybe suffering for a whole year, after suffering from the surgery, and then the doctors are just getting the new photos here before and after, and that's it. And they don't think about the journey, 1 year or 2 years journey with suffering. They don't think about it.
Saying so with all respect to all doctors, by the way. We're not disrespecting anyone, but we're just speaking about gastric sleeving as a behavior, as an action. Absolutely. Adil, where do you see men in the Middle East 5 years from now, by 2030?
Honestly, I think we're going in a good direction. I think more men are actually opening up to the idea of things like therapy, even speaking to guys like me. I definitely see something changing. I feel like we really can improve the kind of masculinity in the Middle East, especially in terms of healthy masculinity. More people are speaking up now. I think it's becoming more widespread, this kind of movement. Especially with what I'm doing with Brotherhood DXB and with my team, it's going to be huge, and we're going to have many hundreds and thousands of men that will be joining what we're doing. We're going to change the face of masculinity one man at a time.
Dude, absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. Where do you see relationships in 5 years?
I really want to say that we're moving back towards the nuclear family of husband, wife, and kids and longevity. But I feel like divorces are on the rise. I feel like we're having less and less children. We're having an older generation. We don't have as many. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't look good.
Just be optimistic. Just be
optimistic. I mean,
optimistic.
I want to be. We have to be the example, right? So we have to just keep making sure that we're pushing, the right things, and if we're living a life of integrity and trying to pave the way, then we create a movement.
We all do what we got to do, and you said something so beautiful in the beginning of this call. If you want love, be the love. If you want kindness, be the kindness. Just be you.
Yeah.
It's the same in Quran, by the way. لن تنالوا البر حتى تنفقوا مما تحبون. It's the same thing.
Yes. You have to give and then receive, not receive and then give. Adele said the line in her latest song, I give as good as I get. What do you think of that? Allah yahdik, Adele. Anyway. But I didn't bring her because it's similar to your name. I promise I didn't.
I know.
Anyway, I would love to bring this conversation to an end. Any closing remarks, Adil?
Just for any man that's watching and listening to this, like, there's always a safe space. There's always a safe space to speak your truth. Like, be a man of integrity and honesty. And at least if you can't be honest with those around you, be honest with yourself. Really check in with how you're feeling and your emotions, and if you want to speak to someone, you can always reach out to any of us right here. We're here. No one of you is alone.
Top class. Thank you. Reham, any closing words?
Actually, everything's deeply inside. Just express yourself. Don't be afraid of anything. We are not judging people. Everything is really inside. That's it.
And my last one, whoever's going through anything, you're not the only one or the last one.
Exactly.
So like, just like Adil said, just reach out. What you gotta lose, you know, and just get it sorted. Just get it sorted. Guys,
Exactly.
I'm gonna love you and leave
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much, and we'll touch base, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Allah Hafiz.